Close your eyes for a moment. Well, you're watching a video, so keep them open. But imagine closing your eyes and ask yourself one simple question. Where are you? Not your address, not your body sitting in that chair. I mean you, the real one, the one behind the eyes, watching all of this happen. Go ahead, try to point to it. Point to the part of you that has always been there. Not your body, that's changed completely since you were 5 years old. Not your thoughts, those change every few seconds. Not your feelings, happy an hour ago, tired now. Try to point to the thing underneath all of that. The constant one, the real you. Here's the strange thing. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you why you couldn't point to it. Not because you didn't try hard enough, but because, according to one of the oldest, most carefully tested wisdom traditions on Earth, and strangely enough, according to modern physics too, there was never a fixed you sitting there to point at. Stay with me. This is going to be one of the most interesting rides your mind has been on. Let's begin.
About 2,500 years ago, Lord Buddha sat under a tree, explained about this exact question, and what he found became the foundation of Buddhism. He said, when you look closely at a person, you don't find one solid thing. You find 5 things happening together. In the old language, Pali, these are called the 5 khandhas, the 5 heaps or the 5 bundles. Let's meet them one at a time in plain English, and let's watch all 5 happen together in one single ordinary moment. So you can see this isn't theory, it's just what's happening to you right now, all day, every day. Here's the moment. You're walking down a street and you pass a bakery. The smell of fresh bread reaches you.
Number 1, the body. This is the physical side. Your nose, your lungs pulling in air, the nerves carrying the signal to your brain. Simple enough, but look closer. Is this body the same one you had 10 years ago? Not one cell is the same. It's more like a river than a rock, always flowing, never frozen. Think about a scar from years ago. The skin under it has been rebuilt many times since, yet the scar's shape lives on, carried forward by a pattern, not by the original cells. You call it my body, but it's really a process, running on its own, following rules of biology you don't control. You can't tell it to stop aging, and you couldn't have told your childhood body to become this one either. It just happens.
Number 2, feeling. The instant that bread smell arrives, a feeling shows up automatically. Probably pleasant. Not emotions yet, just the most basic layer. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Touch a hot stove? Unpleasant. Instantly. No thinking required. Step into cool water on a summer day? Pleasant. Instantly. Hear a piece of construction machinery drilling outside your window at 6 a.m.? Unpleasant. Before you've even opened your eyes properly. Do you choose these feelings? No. They arise the moment something makes contact, sit for a while, and leave. You don't manufacture them. They happen to you.
Number 3, perception. This is the labeling machine. The moment that smell arrives, your mind doesn't just register a smell. It immediately says bread, maybe even that bakery on the corner, maybe even my grandmother's kitchen. This labeling happens so fast you don't notice it's a separate step from smelling. But it is, and it's built entirely from memory. A person who had never encountered bread before would smell the exact same molecules and have no label at all, just an unnamed sensation. The same is true when you hear the opening notes of an old song and instantly think 1998. The sound itself carries no year on it. Your memory attached that. Take away memory and every label disappears.
Number 4, mental formations. This is the biggest bundle. Every intention, every reaction, every like and dislike, anger, love, jealousy, generosity. Smelling that bread, a want might arise. I should get a loaf. Or a memory-triggered warmth, missing your mother's cooking. Or in a different moment entirely, someone cuts you off in traffic and anger arises before you've even decided to be angry. Someone thanks you sincerely and warmth rises on its own. Did you choose any of these? Or did each one simply come up automatically the instant the condition was right? The way a spark catches only when fuel, oxygen, and heat are all present together?
Number 5, consciousness. This is the trickiest one. The bare knowing itself. The lights are on feeling. The plain awareness that any of this is happening at all. Surely this is the real me, right? The witness sitting behind everything, watching the smell, the feeling, the label, the reaction. Here's the surprise. Even consciousness doesn't sit still as one thing. It flickers on freshly at every single contact. The smell arrives, nose consciousness switches on. A moment later, a car horn sounds. Hearing consciousness switches on, and the smell slips into the background. Someone waves at you, seeing consciousness takes the front seat. It's not one steady flashlight beam pointed at the world. It's more like a string of individual flashes, so fast and so smooth that it feels like one continuous beam. The same way a movie feels like smooth motion, when really it's just still frames flashing one after another 24 times a second.
So there it is, one small moment, walking past a bakery, and already all 5 bundles were fully active. Body sensing, feeling arising, perception labeling, reactions firing, awareness flickering. Nobody sat outside this process, directing it. It simply ran, the way it always does, the way it's running in you right now as you listen to these words. 5 bundles. Body, feeling, perception, reactions, awareness. All of them changing. All of them running on their own based on conditions. Now, here's the question that changes everything.
If you go looking through all 5 of these, carefully, honestly, for the one that is you, where do you find it? Not the body. It changes completely, and you can't control it. Not feeling. It comes and goes without asking your permission. Not perception. It's just labels built from memory. Not mental reactions. They arise from conditions. Insult in, anger out. Kindness in, warmth out. Not even consciousness. It's not one steady thing. It's a fast sequence of flickers, each one triggered by a new contact.
So here is the finding. Not a belief, but something you can actually check for yourself, the way you'd check an experiment. There is no 6th thing hiding behind the 5, running the show. No driver behind the wheel. No boss sitting in the office giving orders to the body and mind.
In Buddhism, this is called anattā, not self. Not the self is bad, not you don't exist. Just when you search for a fixed, independent, unchanging me, you don't find one. You find a process, a very organized, very convincing process, but a process, not a person hiding inside the process.
Let's make this less abstract, because I know this can feel unsettling the first time you hear it. Let me give you 3 pictures.
A whirlpool. You've seen one in a river, near a rock. It has a clear shape. You could point to it and say, there's the whirlpool. But what is it actually made of? Just water. Water moving in a certain pattern because of the rock, the current, the depth. There is no separate whirlpool substance. Change the conditions, move the rock, and the whirlpool disappears completely. It was never a thing. It was a pattern, happening for a while.
A flame. A candle burns all night. In the morning, is it the same flame from last night? Not really. The wax that fed it, the oxygen that fed it, the heat itself, all of it has been replaced continuously, all night long. We call it one flame out of convenience. It's really a fast chain of new flames, each one caused by the one before it.
A rainbow. Beautiful, clearly visible. You can even point at exactly where it is in the sky, but walk toward it, and it moves away from you forever. Why? Because it was never a solid object sitting in the sky. It's what happens when light, water droplets, and your eye's position all line up together for a moment.
Me is like this. Not fake exactly. The whirlpool is really turning, the flame is really burning, the rainbow is really visible. But none of them are separate, solid, standing alone things. They are what happens when the right conditions come together for a while. That is what your 5 khandhas are doing right now. A real display, not a solid thing.
Now let's zoom out from one person to the whole universe, because this same discovery, nothing stands alone, shows up again at the biggest scale imaginable.
There's a beautiful image used by Buddhist teachers for centuries. And I'll be honest with you, it comes from a slightly later school of Buddhist thought, not the very earliest texts, but it captures this truth so well that teachers everywhere still use it. It's called Indra's net.
Picture an endless net stretching in every direction, farther than the eye can see, up, down, and in all directions at once. At every single knot in this net, there hangs a jewel. Not a dull stone, a perfectly polished, mirror-like jewel.
Now, here's the magic. Because each jewel is a perfect mirror, it reflects every other jewel in the entire net. And if you look very closely into any one of those reflections, you find reflections of all the other jewels inside it too. And inside those, more reflections, infinitely, in every direction.
Now ask the same question we asked about me. Pick one single jewel. What does it actually contain if you remove all the reflections of the other jewels? Take away every reflection. What's left?
Nothing of its own. The jewel's entire visible content is its relationship to everything else in the net. It has no independent picture of itself separate from the rest.
That is the image. Every tree, every person, every star, every ant is a jewel in this same net, fully itself, and at the very same time, fully made of its connection to everything else. Nothing sits in isolation. Touch one point in the net, and in some way, the whole net shifts.
Here's what makes this image feel eerily alive today. Physics found something that rhymes with it.
In the 1900s, scientists discovered that tiny particles, electrons, photons, the building blocks of everything, can become linked in a very strange way. Physicists call this entanglement.
Let me give you a simple, everyday picture. And then, because I want to be an honest teacher with you, I'll tell you exactly where the picture stretches too far.
Imagine 2 coins that are magically paired. You carry one coin to Japan. Your friend carries the other to Texas. The moment the Japan coin lands on heads, the Texas coin instantly lands on tails. Every single time, no matter the distance between them, faster than any signal could possibly travel.
That's the flavor of entanglement. 2 particles, once linked, are no longer describable as 2 separate, independent things. Measure one, and you instantly know something about the other, even if they're on opposite sides of the universe.
Now, the honest part. Physicists will tell you that nothing is actually rushing between those 2 particles. No signal is sent. No information travels faster than light. It's more subtle, and in some ways stranger than communication. It's that the 2 particles stop having separate, independent stories at all. Their description was never really 2 descriptions, it was always one shared description, wearing 2 locations.
Separateness, at this level, turns out to be an illusion of appearance, not a fact of reality. 2 things that look completely apart may not be underneath.
Sound familiar? It's the same discovery as the jewel in the net. The same discovery as the 5 khandhas. Look closely enough at anything, a particle, a person, a jewel, and the hard line marking where it ends and everything else begins gets blurry, then disappears.
The jewel has no content except its reflection of everything else. The particle has no separate state except in relation to its entangled partner. You, the 5 khandhas, have no separate content except your relationship to food, air, parents, memories, contact with the world, causes reaching back further than you can trace.
3 different scales. Same discovery. Every time. Pull out the connections, and there is nothing independent left underneath. Not in the jewel, not in the particle, not in you.
This isn't a depressing thought, even though it might feel that way for a second. Hold on, because this is exactly where the Buddha's teaching gets practical.
So, if there's no fixed self sitting behind everything, what is actually happening moment to moment? This is where the Buddha gave one of his most important teachings, called paticca samuppada, dependent origination. In plain English, this arises because that arose. This ceases because that ceased.
Let's build it with a simple physical picture. Dominoes. You've seen a long line of dominoes fall, one knocking down the next. No domino decides to fall. No domino is the cause all by itself either. Each one falls purely because the one before it pushed it. Take away any single domino in the middle, and everything after it stops.
That's the shape of dependent origination. Not one first cause sitting outside the chain, pulling the strings. Just links handing off to the next link, endlessly.
Here's how this plays out inside your own experience. In 4 steps you can actually watch happen in real time, today.
Contact. Your eye lands on something. Say, a cake in a shop window. Contact has occurred. Eye, object, awareness. All 3 meeting.
Feeling. The instant contact happens, a feeling arises automatically. In this case, probably a pleasant one. You didn't choose it, it just showed up, the way heat shows up the instant your hand touches fire.
Craving. Right after the pleasant feeling, something else tends to arise. Wanting. I want that cake. This is tanha, craving. Notice, craving isn't a separate, mysterious force. It's just the next domino, falling because the feeling before it pushed it.
Clinging. If the wanting is strong enough, it turns into clinging, buying the cake, eating it, maybe eating a second slice you didn't need, maybe feeling bad afterward. One more domino, falling because the one before it fell.
Contact caused feeling. Feeling caused craving. Craving caused clinging. Clinging caused the next thing. And on it goes, chain after chain, all day, every day. Mostly completely unnoticed.
Here's the part I really want you to catch. At no point in that whole chain was there a self standing outside it, directing it. There was no boss saying, cause feeling now, then cause craving. It just ran, the way water runs downhill, the way one falling domino knocks the next.
Just like a flame passed from one candle to the next candle isn't the same flame traveling across. It's a new flame each time, entirely caused by the one before it, with nothing solid actually crossing over. Your experience, moment to moment, is a chain of new arisings, each one caused completely by the last.
Now, here's where all of this stops being just an interesting idea and becomes something that can genuinely lighten your life.
Craving. That I want it, I need to keep this, I can't lose that feeling, assumes 2 things. It assumes there's a solid me here who will hold on to the thing, and it assumes there's a solid thing out there, solid enough to actually be held onto and kept.
But we've just spent this whole video discovering neither one is solid. The me is a khandha process,
A whirlpool, a flame passed forward, not a fixed owner. And the thing, the cake, the compliment, the relationship, the outcome you're gripping toward, is also just another shifting pattern of causes and effects, exactly like you are.
So craving is like trying to grab a rainbow with your hand, or trying to bottle a whirlpool and carry it home. It's not that you're doing it wrong, it's that the thing you're trying to hold was never the kind of thing that could be held in the first place.
And here is the freedom in that. If there's no fixed self that must be protected, defended, and endlessly fed, there's nothing for suffering to permanently attach itself to. You can watch feeling arise, watch the pull of craving arise right behind it, and simply see it clearly, without immediately turning it into grasping. That single moment of clear seeing, right at the feeling, is where this whole chain can be interrupted. Not by force, just by seeing it as it actually is.
This doesn't mean the chopping stops, the choosing stops, or that none of it matters anymore. That would be a different mistake, sitting on the opposite side of the same trap. Go back to the flame passed from candle to candle. No fixed flame travels across, but the burning is still completely real. Real heat, real light, real melting wax. Removing the fixed flame never erased the burning. It only removed the idea that a solid, unchanging thing was doing it.
It's the same with the cooking, the anger, the kindness, all of it. There's no frozen little self standing behind the stove, deserving all the credit or all the blame forever. But the chopping is real. The tasting is real. And the choice you make right now, tonight, is a real condition, shaping what tomorrow becomes, happening right here, in this stream of hands and habits, not floating off somewhere vague called the universe.
So here's the line worth carrying with you. The driver is missing. The driving is not. The wheel is still turning, still responding to the road, the fuel, every choice made along the way. What's missing is only the little statue we imagine sitting behind the wheel, separate from all of that. Once that statue is gone, the driving doesn't stop. If anything, it gets clearer and lighter to hold.
So, where is me? Not hidden in the body, not hidden in the mind, not hidden behind the mind, secretly watching everything either. Just 5 bundles in constant motion, caused by conditions, connected to everything else in the net around them. The same way a jewel is made entirely of its reflections. The same way 2 entangled particles no longer have separate stories.
You are not a rock standing in the river. You are the river itself. Always moving, always caused, always connected. Never quite the same from one moment to the next, and never for 1 second standing apart from everything around you. That's not a loss. That's the door.
The next time you feel a strong craving rise up, a want, a grip, this has to happen or I can't be okay. Try this. Pause and ask, who exactly is it that needs this? Look for that one. See what you find. Thank you for sitting with me through this. May you see clearly, and may you hold a little less tightly.